I've trained calisthenics for 10 years. I've solely focused on strength. But what's on the other side? What can we learn from endurance? This is my journey to running a 70-kilometer ultramarathon in Japan. Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 23 of Road to Shimanami, and today was a bit of a slow run because I made the tactical decision to first run 4 kilometers straight and then 6 with a 1 minute walking and 2 minute running interval. And that's a tactical decision to basically let my feet heal a little bit because they have been in a lot of pain over the past couple days, and basically I've been questioning myself every day on how many days I can still go, but it's only 7 more until 30 days, so I want to see if I can hang on until then, and perhaps I can feel even better by then, because basically what I'm doing is I'm making small adjustments along the way. I'm making small adjustments in my rehab exercises, and I'm making small adjustments in my training in general to allow myself to keep going day by day. Day by day I check how am I feeling and how should I adjust. But the most important thing here is that I make adjustments bit by bit. I don't try to make a lot of adjustments at the same time, and that's very important because if you make many changes at the same time, you don't know which change is gonna cause which effect. Because when you make changes, you're gonna have an effect, right? When you change your training, it's gonna have an effect on your body because your body adapts to what you're doing in your training. So if, let's say a couple weeks, right? I changed my training dramatically because all of a sudden I doubled my running. And at the same time, I also reduced my volume in the upper body training a little bit, or in the training in general a little bit. But ever since then, basically I've been trying to make adjustments in small portions. So when I started experiencing pain in my calves, I added some calf raises as rehab. When I started getting shin splits, I started doing shin raises, right? But I added these things one at a time. And when I realized, hey, I'm getting tired, I tried to adjust my training by slowly decreasing the intensity of upper body. Now, basically, I want to change a lot of things still, right? Because there is so many ways to train. I always want to try like new things, right? But sometimes you have to hold back because, like I said, if you change multiple things, you don't know which effect or which change is going to have which effect. So I want to change my training in the legs actually to be more body weight focused, because lately I've been noticing how much you can do with actual body weight. Like on upper body days, I barely use weight. It's not necessary. It's just amazing to me what you can do with just body weight, and I've been fascinated by it lately, and I want to try it for my legs too. But I'm in this period of change in the running where if I change something drastically in my leg training, I don't know if it's going to be like the effect is going to be running related or leg train strength related, right? So I have to hold off a little bit, and you have to be patient with this because oftentimes we have new goals, right? It's the new year, we have new goals, we change everything at once, and then something goes wrong, we don't know what, but it leads to us giving up. And it's with training, it's with diet as well. Like, let's say you want to start dieting and you decide to eat more meat but also more fiber, and then suddenly you're fighting for your life on the toilet, but you don't know why, right? That's when you don't know what's going on, and that's how you start getting in this negative mindset, and you start to give up. If you do one change at a time, you will know the effect of that change, and that's very important because then you can learn from it. But anyway, that's why today's leg day training will be not so very different from the last one, although I did allow myself to add a little bit of weight. Today is 30 kilos on the bar, but I'm gonna do the same reps, the same sets, and yeah, basically have a good leg day. So 3 sets of 5 with 30 kilos a day, and then after that we can holy shit. After that we can head outside for some Nordic rolls in the snow. That's not gonna be fun. Whew. Felt better than last time, but I guess the fact that I didn't do speed intervals today, but instead walking intervals, has something to do with that as well. Anyway, let's head outside for some Nordic girls. Alright, I think playing in the snow has gotten a new meaning today. All I'm gonna say is, when the situation is not ideal, and in this case cold, I'm not opposed to ego lifting, but when you're in this situation, make your considerations carefully, because you don't want to end up getting hurt because you want to train, When situations are worse than normal, you have to adjust. So I made sure to do the warm-up properly, not skip any steps, and now I'm just gonna approach my workout as usual, which is gonna be 3 sets of 5 Nordic curls. Let's go. They might be a bit easier today because there's about 10 centimeters of reduced range of motion. That's interesting. I'm gonna keep set number 2 at 5 reps as well. Perhaps I'll do some more on set number 3. Alright, let's do a tactical retreat inside and get the feet warm. Alright, well, that's enough to feel like a little kid again, playing in the snow, although I guess it was a bit of a different playtime than I used to do, but that's it for today's training, and very happy with how it went. As I said, I didn't do any major adjustments. I did make a few, but adding 2 kilos on the pistol squat is something that I can imagine. I know what it's gonna bring me. It's not gonna get me like a lot more fatigued tomorrow. I know that, adding 3 reps on the final set for the Nordic curl, whether I do 5 or 8, it's sub-maximal. I can do more. And yes, that's a flex. Not towards you guys, but towards my past self, because, well, in the past I couldn't even do 1. So very happy to be at this stage where, although the range of motion is probably reduced by a couple centimeters, I'm able to do 2 sets of 5 and then 1 of 8 as a maintenance training, light training, while running 10 kilometers every day. So yeah, quite satisfied with that one. And when it comes to the leg gains, I'm only 3 weeks in a bit, and of course you're not gonna make major muscle losses, sacrifices in those 3 weeks unless you lose a lot of weight, but I'm actively trying to, keep my weight. And when I do the skills, when I, go into a handstand, I can see the amount of girth that I still have in my legs, especially, compared to what I used to have. I used to be like 62 kilos when I was purely focused on skills. And even when I was 66 kilos before I started training legs, I had some sticks, and basically now I look at my legs and I enter a skill and I see twice the amount of size there. Of course, it's not beneficial for running, but if I can keep it, right, I want to keep it. It's like, let me tell you, it's fun to have a bit bigger legs. You might not be able to imagine that if you're fully focused on the skills, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's it for today's training, and well, small adjustments, but I will, like I said, know what I can expect tomorrow. And the really big adjustments at the moment for me or when it comes to running, right? So I want to postpone other adjustments, even if I am curious, even if I want to make them. I want to move to more body weight leg training because the only thing that I'm really using weight for at the moment is pistol squats, and I feel like I can do it without any weight. And I don't want to sound like a vegan, but the fucking like the pure body weight in itself is like something that's like really remarkable as well, right? Of course, I'm never gonna ban weights for my training, right? Then I would really turn into sort of a vegan-like personality or like the stereotypical personality. I'm not saying all vegans are like that, but I think I would be able to basically benefit from doing more body weight. But that's a change that I'm postponing, right? Because at the moment I want to make the big changes in the running. I want to see which effect they have, and I don't want to confuse them with other things that I'm changing. So for the running, I'm making adjustments. I'm basically seeing what my body can handle with the running and how I can add rehab exercises, stretching, like other things to recover better, how I can add those and use those to basically keep my feet alive at the moment. So everything is focused on just going another day in the 10-kilometer run. It's taking everything I have. Every day I'm like super nervous for the run, but it's scary and also very exciting at the same time. So I want to keep doing it. But that's it. That's gonna be it for today's training. I already mentioned it. I'm very happy with how it went. Very happy to have played in the snow. But I'm gonna have some dinner, some steak, and then I'll see you tomorrow for what's gonna be another balancing day. Let's go.